Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another edition of Great Albums, where I go over a bunch of records that I loved over the past month or so, did reviews for them, which are all linked down below. You could check them out for yourself, because if any of these records slipped through the cracks for you, I imagine some of them have. Don't let them! Don't let them! Try them! Listen to them! I think they're really good! Alright, let's get into them. What are the records? Ooh! This album from the trio Group Therapy. Producers, songwriters, singers, rappers, these three. I was mature for my age, but I was still a child. Really versatile record, fun record, really left field, poppy, creative, awesome hip hop. If you guys like, your Odd Future, your Brockhampton, your so on and so forth, all that kind of stuff, you were going to dig on this. These guys have a great dynamic, a lot to offer, great songs, fantastic production, amazing genre fusions. I think, not only is this record fantastic, but these guys are going to continue to be a group to look out for. Group Therapy. You heard it from me. All right, next, I want to shout out Joanna Sternberg for this record, I've Got Me, a beautiful singer-songwriter record with very folksy, somewhat traditional leaning tunes that have a lot of poeticism, a lot of heart, some unique lead vocals as well. Really liking the vibes and serene, intimate, wonderful energy on this one. If you guys are, big fans of artists such as, let's say, Kimya Dawson, or even a little bit of Daniel Johnston, you're going to dig on what Joanna has to offer on this record for sure. It's a lovely album. All right, I also want to shout out this new ANOHNI and the Johnson's record, My Back Was a Bridge for You to Cross. Obviously, right now, with LGBT rights being under fire in the way that they are, it's important that artists like ANOHNI are still out there and about making amazing and creative music that spits in the face of this injustice. And I'll say that ANOHNI really kind of met the moment on this LP, not just in terms of like the lyrics and the topical urgency of these cuts, but the music is incredible as well, even if it is a very kind of simple and raw portrayal of soul and rock. Again, just great songwriting, even better vocal performances on this thing. Moving record, a must listen. I also want to shout out this new album from the band Witch, Zango. These guys are an African experimental rock, psychedelic rock outfit, which they had some of their older records back from the 70s, I believe, reissued recently. And this interest, the interest that generated for the band, caused them to get back into the studio and record some new stuff. So we have new material from this band after years and years and years of lying dormant. The way various African music traditions as well as rock traditions marry on this project is pretty awesome. Plus, the production has a vintage flair to it. So aesthetically, it kind of sounds like something the band would have recorded back in the 70s too. But yeah, really cool, really neat anomaly of an album that is, fun and certainly going to be one of the most unique listens you've had this year. Following this, a shout out to the Key Glock project, Glockoma 2, as well as the expanded edition, which is a really solid and charismatic album of Southern hip hop with great instrumentals, great sampling. Key Glock consistently hits these tracks with really steady, meditative flows that put me in a trance. Dude's bars and similes much of the time may be pretty simple, but still his personality and wit comes through. It's just a catchy, solid, highly enjoyable Southern hip hop album. Want to also shout out this new one from Mr. George Clanton, singer, songwriter, and producer. He has a nostalgia addiction that continues to go unchecked on this new project, hitting us with these dreamy, hypnagogic 90s alt dance cuts whose walls of synths and effects are so thick it borders on shoegaze. Pretty much everything that made his last solo record Slide so magical, but with some slight improvements on the vocal and mix end. But yeah, George continuing to advance, continuing to grow, are really kind of cornering the market on this whole 90s vibed vapor pop thing. And finally, I want to give a shout out to this new Snooper album, Super Snooper. These guys are a Nashville punk, art punk, post-punk, noise rock outfit with some zany vibes. Wild lyrics, whole range of topics on this new record, from computer technology to bedbugs. Lots of wild and chaotic guitar riffs and some amazing alien-like lead vocals. It is very funny, it is very wild, it is very out there. If you like your Evaporators, if you like your Devo, if you like your Suburban Lawns, maybe even a bit of Viagra Boys too. If you like any of those weirdo post-punk bands or, freaky sci-fi demento rock, like that kind of shit, if you dig on any of that, I think you're going to get at least a little bit of something out of this new record. And it's pretty short too, just like 22 minutes long with a lot of tracks that kind of fly by in a fun fashion. But yeah, they killed it on this one. It's a bop. It's a bangaroony. And link to a review for that down below as well, along with everything else that I talked about. And that has been the Great Albums segment for this month. Thank you very much. Transition, have you given any of these albums a listen? Do you love them? Do you want to give me your favorite albums of the month? Let me know in the comments, and you're the best. Anthony Fantano, albums, music, listen forever.